This is my lovely audience.
Hello.
My name's Victoria. This is my informative speech, and today we're going to be discussing your power as a voter. Whether or not you voted or you should or shouldn't have this year is a moral compass that we are not taking into consideration, because every 4 years, on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, we have an opportunity to make a collective decision on who will represent us as a country. I'm going to explain to you the election process, what it is, what happens to your vote once you leave the booth for your private decision. And due to recent elections, I believe each individual American should fully grasp their power as a voter. Utilizing one's voice is essential, especially in a time of such global tension and worry. What does it take to become president? In order to even qualify to begin the journey to presidency, one must be a natural-born U.S. citizen, have resided within the U.S. for a minimum of 14 years, and be at least 35 years of age. Once these requirements are met, one may declare candidacy for president, and once $5,000 of campaign funds have been met, an individual must register with the Federal Election Commission and name a committee to raise and spend funds. A presidential candidate must undergo a series of state primaries and caucuses previous to the general election. These primaries are by both local and state governments through discrete ballots, and caucuses are private political meetings held at county, district, and precinct levels. Participants in these meetings decide a political side that is then grouped, undecided individuals in their own group. Each group rallies individuals to join them who then vote. This determines how many delegates each candidate wins. Primaries and caucuses alike may be open, closed, or semi-open or semi-closed. During an open primary, any candidate may be voted for. During closed, only one may be voted for by the party that they're registered for. And during semi-open and semi-closed, it's a variation of the two. At each primary and caucus, there are a number of delegates, which is an individual who represents their state at national conventions. Whoever receives a majority of their party's delegates wins the nomination. President and vice president elections don't use a typical system of popular vote as other elections do. Instead, electors through an electoral college process are used. This is due to a compromise between popular vote and congressional vote from the Constitution. A state may have as many electors as members of the House and Senate. These electors are chosen by each state's political party. Once your ballot is cast, your vote contributes to your state's tally. Maine and Nebraska assign their electors using a proportional system, while the remainder of the U.S. gets electoral votes for that state. In order to win the presidential election, a candidate needs at least 270 electors, or more than half of all electors. A projected winner is announced on election night in November, although the Electoral College doesn't vote until mid-December. The Constitution doesn't require electors to follow popular vote, although many states do. It's rare for an elector to challenge these laws, but in July 2020, the Supreme Court ruled that the state laws are in fact constitutional and electors must follow their state's popular vote. If there's no candidate to receive a majority of electoral votes, the vote proceeds to the House of Representatives. Here, House members choose the new president from the 3 leading candidates, and the Senate elects the vice president from the remaining 2. This has happened once in 1824 when John Quincy Adams was elected president by the House of Representatives. The Electoral College process is constitutional and would take an amendment to alter any part of the process. Whether or not you voted or should or shouldn't is a moral compass you might want to think twice about before throwing away today. Every 4 years, on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, we have an opportunity to make a collective decision on who will represent us as a country. We have many opportunities as individuals to not only vote for our president, but vote for the representatives that make the real final decision on who goes to office. What are you going to do with your power? Do we have any questions or comments from the audience?
That was very informative. As old as I am, I didn't know that till now.
Thank you. I'm glad I could
You're
enlighten
welcome.
you.
I'm very proud of you.
I think you did a very good job. some of the information in there I did not know also, but you brought to my attention, so I am very thankful.
Thank you both very much for your time.
You're welcome.